What's up, guys? Alright, so today we are going to talk nutrition and supplementation, alright, and why that's important for this. So, the first thing is, um, you know, bodybuilding is a sport of having symmetry and visible muscles, basically being as lean as possible while having as much muscle mass as possible. So, nutrition is massive for that. Yes, of course, lifting is important. Yes, cardio is important. But at the end of the day, if I'm not lean enough, then none of it matters. So I'm going to go through my menu for this week. I'm going to go through my current macros. I'm going to go through kind of what those macros do. And then I'm going to go through timing and just kind of talk about where I'm at right now. Or I should say where I was at my last check-in, which was last week. And then we'll go from there. So the first thing is, me this week, I'm eating 5 meals a day. So, just kind of trying to stay on top of what I'm eating so that I don't get bored or super hungry. And I've been eating these meals for about a month now. So I'm going to switch these up in February, but for all of January, every day except for when I was traveling, this is what I was eating. So meal number 1 for breakfast: egg whites, veggies, ham, cheese, and grapes. Just kind of scramble those egg whites up with some sauteed veggies and ham, sprinkle some cheese on top, eat some grapes on the side. I've been freezing them, which makes me feel like a little kid again, which is awesome. Then chicken thighs and vegetables, usually air fried veggies for that. Rice cakes with peanut butter on top. That's basically just a peanut butter delivery mechanism. So I'm just kind of, spraying the peanut butter on the rice cakes and eating them. Then sous vide pork loin, and air fried veggies again, and an apple. Then this is my pre-workout meal. I do oatmeal with frozen fruit in it, peanut butter chew powder, and a protein shake. And then meal number 5, I do elk, sweet potatoes, and cheese. I'm lucky enough, Jody Martinez from the gym, who works for Cafaro, awesome hunter, and Abby Lara, Dr. Abby Lara, his wife, were kind enough to hook me up with a bunch of elk. So tastes good, gets really good micronutrients in there, a little bit more sustainable than eating, another beef meal or something like that. So that's my menu, and I've been eating it. Like I said, I don't necessarily think that everybody should eat, 4 weeks in a row the same meals, but for me it works, and it's easy to prep, easy to grocery shop. If I have leftovers, it's not the right size bag of grapes or something, I can just save them for the next week. My macros right now, protein is actually, believe it or not, fairly low for this at this point. We're kind of at about a gram per pound of body weight for where I am right now, and kind of 1.2 grams per pound for what my goal lean mass is. My fat is so high compared to what I've been doing, and that's really, we'll talk about this a little bit more when I get to why this is important, but that's for hormone health as I lose weight and train a lot, and for satiation because it has a lot of energy per gram. And finally, 243 grams of carbs. This is where I'm feeling it the most. It's just totally low compared to what I normally eat, which is up in the 400 range. So carbs are super low, basically just enough to fuel performance and training. We will experiment with some refeed days later, but for right now, these are my macros every day. Then, kind of a macro overview in case you don't know how these work. Carbs are an energy source primarily, so they provide the body with glucose, which is converted to glycogen, and that energy is used to support my bodily functions and my physical activity. So that's why, and we'll get to timing in a second, most of my carbs are around my workouts, because that's when I'm going to be able to use them, and my body is primed to store them as glycogen, which is really important for the next day of training. Protein, I keep the same pretty much throughout the day. But every cell in the human body contains protein, helps my body repair cells and make new ones, so really important for muscle synthesis. And while this gets a ton of publicity, it's no more important than carbohydrates or fat. So we're trying to keep protein high to keep muscle mass high, but it's kind of on the same level as everything else. And then finally, fat is going to help my body absorb vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin E. It also is really important for hormone health, so our hormone production utilizes fat And since losing weight long term can negatively impact testosterone production, we want to keep that as high as possible to maintain muscle mass and energy, and healthy lifestyle, healthy libido, all that kind of stuff. Then we get into timing. So timing is less important for health, but very important for bodybuilding. My carbs are going to primarily be before and after workouts. You certainly saw some fruit and some vegetables away from workouts, but you're not going to see a ton of like bread or oatmeal or pasta or anything like that, except for right around my workouts. My protein, I keep equal throughout the day. My body is always using that in muscle synthesis, so just kind of a constant drip of protein. And then fat is further away from workouts, partly because it's not the prime energy source for lifting, but also partly because fat has a lot of energy per gram. So fat is 9 calories per gram as opposed to 4 for protein and carbohydrates on average. And so that takes a lot of energy to digest. So if you have a lot of fat when you're going into a workout, some of your energy is being diverted to digesting that fat. Whereas carbs and protein are going to get digested a little more quickly, and the carbs will be available for energy use. All right, and finally, I just wanted to kind of show a progress picture. So, like I said, the now picture was taken last week. So this is just about a month of progress here. You can see big weight loss number, little over 15 pounds, and definitely starting to see a little bit more leanness. Maintaining muscle mass right now. You can see my pecs are about the same size. Arms are about the same size. Hard to tell, but my legs are about the same size as well. So waist has come down. Everything else has stayed fairly static, which is awesome. I started via caliper measuring at around 34% body fat. I'm now down in the 26-27% range, with the goal being to step on stage in May at around 6% body fat. So this is my current nutrition. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for following along.